Here's something else. Responsibility. Write that down. Entrepreneurs believe in responsibility. One great philosopher said, the people who make it in this life, they look around for circumstances that they want, and if they can't find them, they create them. Entrepreneurs take the responsibility to create what they envision, what they see. You know why you're here? Not just because you were invited. You're here because of what I do. That if you did not know in your heart of hearts that you can do what I do plus more, you wouldn't be here. You're here. There are people who, how many of you know people who should be here? Raise your hands, please. If this had been an event for entertainment, you couldn't get near the place. You're here. What is it? You're different. You're not like everybody else. You're not cut from the same cloth. We're branches of the same tree. There's nothing I have said that you don't already know, that you've not said to others. It's common sense, but not common practice. You are here because you're looking for a key, and the key is I'm reminding you of what you already know, that you are enough, and you deserve your dream. Everybody hold your right index finger up. You don't do anything else. Do this, please, for me. Put it in your ear. Put it in your ear. Listen to me. You have greatness within you. You're here because it's time for another chapter in your life. You were born to be successful, to be healthy, to make a difference in life. You were born to have a legacy. You were born to be rich. You were born to make things better for generations yet unborn. You have something special. You have greatness within you. Take your finger out. I don't want it to go in one ear and out the other. I'm going to make you rich and there's nothing you can do about it, all right? You know, I don't have a clock up here, so how long have I been speaking? He's out here, take your time, brother, take your time. What I've shared, has it had any value for you? And please, I have hot flashes. You know, this is a part of my decancering program for 20 years. But I'm here. Hasn't stopped me from speaking. I have hot flashes, but I still have my voice. I have hot flashes, but I'm still useful. I have hot flashes. Deal with it every day. And there are people who have other stuff they deal with. There's a guy had a song out years ago called Dimples. If it ain't one thing, it's another. And God has still given me the opportunity to serve. Let me leave this with you. Put your hand over your heart. Repeat after me, please. I know I have more in me to express. I'm not giving up on my dream. I'm willing to dedicate myself. I'm willing to be resourceful, unstoppable. I'm willing to do what it takes to live my dream. I know I can do more. I can experience more. I know God is not through with me yet. Shake someone's hand on your right and left and say, you were born for greatness. Do that right now. So what I'd like to do now is entertain questions. What questions do you have for me, please? Any questions? Yes, sir. You have a question for me?
Yes, sir.
Bring it on, my brother. Bring it on. Yes, sir.
Mr. Brown, can you speak about how you looked at the Zig Ziglar?
Yeah.
As you know, I look up to you. I inspire you motivation speaker.
Okay.
How do I continue to walk after the mastery of what you've done and still keep myself, my own individual set path?
Well, one of the things that we teach, and he said, how do I do what you do and keep my own sense of identity. That part of the process, I teach you that speaking is a projection of who you are, not who you think you ought to be. And so all of us, what is your name? Mark, all of us have an energy signature. There are certain people, when I speak, they're going to hear me. But there's certain people, because of your energy signature, when you speak, they're going to hear you not in their ear, but in their heart. And you, as a result of your speaking, their lives will never be the same again. I train speakers. I have a program that I'll tell you about and teach you how to change lives, if that's something you want to do, how to create an experience with an audience, large groups or small groups, and how to build a financial empire, that I believe that we all can be a voice of hope. There's something wrong. We live in the greatest country in the world. There's something wrong. When more people died last year from suicide than from traffic accidents. And my goal is to train people, just everyday people, ordinary people who want to make an extraordinary difference in their lives, how to develop a message of hope out of their life story, and how to begin to make a difference and make a greater impact with their story, and how to speak for corporations and have the flexibility and versatility to speak to organizations all over the world. If that's something you want to do, good. I'm going to tell you how to get in touch with me and let you know when we have our next training. So how many of you have gone through some change? I'm not going to stop now, so I'm just going to ignore you. Yeah. So anyhow, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that to you, But how many of you have gone through some things in life that you can help people? Raise your hands, please. How many of you have had some setbacks and disappointments in your life? Raise your hands, please. How many of you had moments in your life like me where you're temporarily insane? Raise your hands, please. Some people raise 2 hands, all right? So remember I said knowledge is the new currency, okay? So what I did, I started off telling you my story. How many of you got a story? Raise your hands, please. Very good. Now, remember I told you you have to have somebody in your life who can see what you can't see? We took pictures on that day, and I couldn't find a Walgreens, so now y'all see that gray. I'm going to have to doctor that up. I'm going to fix that. No, sir, y'all won't see that no more, buddy. I want you to write his name down. The Road to Your Best Stuff, Mike Williams. You can get this on Amazon. This is a gift for yourself or someone you care about. But this is the man who changed my life. Were it not for him, you would not know this Les Brown. I had no idea that this Les Brown existed. I'm very passionate about my work, and I asked him, how can I pay you back, Mike? He said, Brownie, just pass it on. So that's what I'm doing now. He's a good man, good father, good example. You want someone who's doing what you want to do at the level that you like to do it. He expanded my vision, so I became a concert promoter. And so that's me at 175 pounds. This is no Photoshop. This is Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5. Remember they had a song called I Want You Back? Remember they had that? And Michael, that's Michael there. He was 10 years old. That's 1973. Now, when I had you shake someone's hand on your right or left and say, you have greatness within you, you have no idea whose hand you shook, who you seated next to. Eye has not seen, ear has not heard, nor is in the heart of mankind what God has in store for that hand that you shook, that person that you're seated next to. We had no idea. When I saw him, I had no idea who he was going to become. You have no idea who you're going to become. There are things that I found myself doing that I had no idea that I had the ability to do. How many like to make a difference in your community? Raise your hands, please. I ran for the Ohio legislature. Somebody encouraged me. It was not my idea. I passed 14 bills my first term. And so we'll teach you how to make a difference with your story, how to influence and impact people. How many of you like to do that? Raise your hands, please. Very good. I'm going to answer those questions in just a minute. And here's a major question I want to ask you. Do this tonight. What's your why? What's your why? That's my why. That's Mama. She was a 22-year breast cancer conqueror. And I left the Ohio legislature. Sometimes life will take you in another direction. How many of you know that? I enjoyed politics, but I love my mother. I was positioned to run for Congress and statewide office, but I walked away from all of that. Nobody was going to take care of her but me. So this is my new why. How many want to leave a legacy? Raise your hands, please. How many of you have children? Raise your hands, please. So these are my children. Calvin is the oldest one. He's on the left. He loves running my life. Serena, she's my baby girl. John Leslie, my baby boy, he speaks. They all speak and train. Ona, if you go online, O-N-A, Ona Brown, she looks like me without a beard. And Patrick, they speak and they train. In fact, we plan to go to various cities. I have a youth program, and it does 5 things. Write this down. Number 1, it transforms their mindset. Number 2, it teaches them how to become effective communicators. 3, it teaches them how to dress like a prospect and not a suspect. 4, it teaches them how to develop relationships that's an asset and not a liability. And at 5, it teaches them how to become global entrepreneurs, even if they're a felon, even if they have a criminal background. Many of the young people are locked out of the job market because of a criminal background. They don't know how to get back in, but now it's easier than ever before. I'm a great-grandfather. That's Eric. We call him E3 with a hat. Because reason we call him E3, because he runs all the time like Forrest Gump. Run, Forrest, run. So we say, run, E3, run. He's a little cool. He walks around the house with his little hat. He's a trip. This is Carson. He just showed up. He's about 6 months old. And Nigel. You know, these are my great grandsons. And so I don't know what you want to do with your life, but given my backgrounds, that's Dr. Julie Van Putten, and we were in Poland. They had a stadium. I had, you know, when Scripture says, eye has not seen, ear has not heard, there are people around the world waiting for you. You got a tribe. I was in Poland. 25,000 people came into this stadium to hear me speak. I did not know, and that's Nick Vorwich. I had no idea that was in my future. But I can tell you, if you're willing to work, commit thy works unto the Lord. Technology will soon erase millions of jobs. That's where you come in as an entrepreneur. Rise of the robots. Remember, 1/3 of the jobs that now exist will be gone in less than 10 years. Remember I said knowledge is the new currency. It's easier to make it. Why? Because, you know why you're here? You have an achievement-driven mindset. The people who are not here, who would come for a concert, they have an entertainment-driven mindset. Am I making sense to you on this? You're looking for ways in which you can do more. Your best work and your best years are in front of you. Am I making sense on that? How many of you believe that, though? Raise your hands, please. I haven't done my best work yet. I haven't given my best speech yet. My best work is in front of me, and so is yours. So staying ahead of the game. But if anybody had looked at me and Wesley served our country for 26 years. He's a good man, great heart, great father, great individual, good man, great brother. We are different in day and night, you know. He can't hear nothing from me. What do I know? You'll never be as good as me, Leslie. I know, Wesley, I know. He drives me around Fayetteville, North Carolina, and play all of his favorite gospel music for me. Thank you, Wesley. I really appreciate this. Wesley, if you just get me near the hotel, I'll walk back. Let me tell you something. We are 5 minutes apart, but let me tell you something. That boy can get on my last nerve. Do you hear me? The only reason they bring you in because they haven't seen me. That boy is a trip, man. Okay, I'm ready for the questions. I went overtime. You know what? I do not apologize because I'm on a mission. I went overtime. I do apologize for the program.
Please don't apologize.
Was it worth it for y'all?
Hey, everybody. Show Mr. Brown how much Central Louisiana appreciates his heart and his passion. Come on, get really, really big, right?
Thank you. Thank you.
And so Dr. Julie tells me to tell you that we have the questions written. Everybody, please be seated.
Yes, I'm supposed to just do 45 minutes.
We loved it. We loved every minute.
But I went over, but
That's okay.
I speak from my heart. And I feel that there's somebody that got some value out of what I've said.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Somebody's walking into a new season.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. So we have some questions, Mr. Brown, from our audience members. And LaShawn Brown writes, what is your motivation on those bad days or those off days when you just don't feel like it?
There are days like that. You know, Mama said there'll be days like this. There'll be days like this, Mama said. You have to stay busy. Got to stay busy. There are just days you won't feel like it. There are days I'm in pain. I have to work through it. I have to affirm, write this down, no matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it.
And so Francis Jenkins says, and this is a question probably that a lot of people struggle with, what motivated you to get started, especially when starting is the hardest thing for most people to do?
My mother, that was my why as a kid. I saw her working hard, getting ready to go to work. She said, oh, Arthur's bothering me. I said, Mama, who's Arthur? She said, don't worry, you live long enough, you'll find out. She's talking about arthritis. I said, Mama, what is it, Leslie? Why? Every Sunday y'all say, thank you, Lord, for waking me up in my right mind this morning. She said, don't worry, you live long enough, you'll find out. I went in the room to find something the other day. I got in there, and I couldn't remember what I was looking for. I came out the room, remembered what I was looking for. I went back in, found it. Then I couldn't remember why I was looking for it. My children said, you need some ginkgo biloba, you know. I went down to Walgreens or CVS, and the lady said, may I help you? I said, I forgot why I'm here. You need something for your memory. I said, okay. I bought it, I took it home now. I don't know where it is. So when I wake up in the morning, I say, I thank the Lord for waking me up in my right mind this morning.